All right, here we go. So end of the day session, I had actually a presentation ready, and then I realized that I'm the final slot competing with the happy hour, and just.
You were not supposed to ring up.
I mean, no happy hour going on now. But I also realized after having a number of meetings today that not too many people know about the smart TV space, or they know about it, but they know very little about it. And so what I hope to do today is, in a very, very high level, give you guys a little inkling of what's going on in the smart TV space, a space that we think is very exciting, but a space that's kind of fraught with some interesting twists and turns. So therefore, when I was reading my children a bedtime story a couple of days ago, I came up with this title here, That's Good, That's Bad, No, That's Great. And this is going to be the theme. Let me know if it works. Okay, so who am I? I'm the Senior Director of Game Tree TV Business Development for TransGaming. As Chris mentioned, we were part of Oberon Media, and we were acquired 2 years ago. As a unit, we've been creating games for television, believe it or not, for almost 10 years now, focusing previously on the cable and satellite business. We still do that today, and now today in the smart TV business, working with folks like Samsung, Philips, Toshiba, etc. So we're actively aggregating HTML5 games content for our ITV and smart TV game services worldwide. I won't talk so much more about ourselves and more about the industry, but we are actively aggregating games. So those who have HTML5 games and want to be a part of our portals and services worldwide, we should certainly speak after. Okay, here we go. Story time. Who's ready? There's a book called That's Good, That's Bad. It came out in 1991. I've been reading it for about 10 years now. So this sort of sums up my feeling right now in the smart TV world, that there's some good, there's some bad, but I will give you guys the spoiler alert. It has a great ending. Here we go. A couple of pages of the story to get you guys into it. One day, a little boy went to the zoo with his mother and father, and they bought him a shiny red balloon. Okay? It sounds good, right? It lifted him high up into the air, to the sky. Wow. Oh, that's good. No, it's actually bad. Why? Because the balloon drifted for miles and miles until it came to a hot, steamy jungle. It broke on the branch of a tall, prickly tree. Pop. Oh, that's bad. Boy in a balloon getting popped. No, that's good, because the little boy fell into a muddy river. Splat. All right, I'm going to recap that for you because it may have been difficult. So at the zoo, a boy is lifted into the sky by his balloon. That's good. No, it's actually bad, because the balloon pops when it hits a tree deep in the jungle. That's bad. No, it's actually good, because the wide-eyed lad falls into a river, climbs onto a hippo, who takes him to shore. That's good. So what is the ingredients of this story? Things that appear to be positive turn out to be negative, and vice versa. And this is, I feel, indicative of the HTML5 games on smart TV today. All right, you ready? Let's try it. So today, there's actually 1 billion connected TVs in the home. That's good, yeah? Well, unfortunately, no, that's bad. Many of these connected devices are actually not connected. Anyone here have a smart TV in their home? Have you guys connected to the, good. That's good news. My brother-in-law just got a beautiful new smart Samsung TV. I'm like, you can play our games. He's like, how? I'm like, just, go here. He's like, I didn't connect it to the, I'm like, you're one of those guys. So there are people who are not connecting their TVs, but connection rates are on the rise. And these are actually, I just read these numbers recently. These are much improved from last year. 68% on average today, with 79% connection rate in the US. Oh, that's good. No, let's hear it. Great. All right. So that is great. So the story is getting better with regards to connection rate. Thank you. You're good. Oh. All right, here we go. Revenue opportunity. What is the revenue opportunity? Well, smart TVs present yet another world of apps, inundating users with even more content choices, right? It's harder and harder to make money. I've been hearing in other panels today, it's not so easy to put a game out on Apple or Google Play. It's very hard to make money. There's a lot of people there. So unfortunately, that's bad. No, it's actually good. Don't worry. Consumers are increasing their usage on smart TV by 60%. those who were buying the early versions of smart TVs maybe in 2011, 2012, there's more and more usage on these TVs. To be honest, a lot of it is driven by VOD and Netflix and other services like that, but it doesn't make a difference. As long as you're interacting on your TV today and you're starting to use that remote control in different ways than you've ever used your TV before, interactivity is very, very good. And the TV apps business is going to be a $14 billion business in the US alone by 2017. That is a great number. A lot of it, again, is from video, but certainly gaming should take a good slice of that pie. Oh, that's good. No, that's great. All right, there we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay, shall we continue? Okay, what about advertising? So there are many believe it or not, in this small space, there are many ad inventory companies that you can partner with today to have your smart TV ad inventory if you're doing in-game advertising. Companies like SmartClip, Yumi, have you guys heard of those? Those companies. They also work across other platforms as well. So that's great. That's good, excuse me. I don't want to get ahead of myself. That is good. We have a wide, there are solutions out there today for those who want to play ads within their games. Unfortunately, this is, again, this is actually some very specific data to us, so we're sharing it with you today, is that it's actually a little bad because much of our traffic today is in Eastern Europe, and our experience today with some of our current partners is that it's very difficult to monetize Russia or Eastern Europe. I don't know if that's the same in the mobile space, but we can say in the smart TV space we are having a hard time monetizing that, and when 30% of our traffic is coming from that area, I guess people in Russia and Eastern Europe love to play games on their TV, which is really good, but we need a way to monetize these guys. So that's not so good, but our CPMs in our games on smart TV are trending to be double digits, so we're very happy with the CPMs. Oh, that's good. No, that's great. All right, here we go. Very good. What about billing? So today, there's no universal billing on smart TV. So I don't know if any of those who raised their hands have a smart TV. Did you guys put in your credit cards? No. That's a problem, right? So the vision of smart TV, of big TV manufacturers, Samsung, et cetera, was everyone's going to buy these TVs out of the box. It's going to be just like Apple. They're going to put in their credit card information. Guess what? It didn't happen. So you have a lot of ways to purchase applications on smart TV, but you have a lot of applications to purchase, but it is difficult to make that purchase because there's no universal billing. So that is bad, but it's actually good. There are more and more solutions and companies out there today. There's a couple of companies I actually even saw today on the floor that are doing this. It will get there. It will get there, and it's actually quite mind-boggling that some of these large manufacturers like Samsung and LG and Panasonic don't have this today. So it seems very a logical next step for them to have a universal billing solution, and that makes single-click impulsive purchasing, which works wonderful on the TV, hopefully here very soon. Okay, this takes me back a little bit to my past, but what about development? So I mentioned earlier, if anyone here was doing interactive television development, Chris mentioned an old interactive television technology called Wink. This stuff has been going on since actually about 1996 that I've been involved with. This is what it looked like. If you wanted to create anything on one of these devices or cable or satellite operators around the world, you had tons of different boxes and tons of different operating systems, and it was quite a mess. It's sort of what our company excelled in, but it wasn't a very fun space. You couldn't, let's say, launch the same game on operator X versus cable operator Y and satellite operator Z. So this is very, 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 very bad. So along, sort of part of this presentation is HTML5. So the beauty of HTML5 is it takes that big, ugly chart that you just saw before and narrows it down to a single code base. That's good. That's very good. Well, again, a little bit under the covers since we've been developing in this space for a little bit now. It's bad. The devices still differ and introducing device-specific issues. Testing is needed on each TV device separately. So a 2012 TV manufacturer S has using a different chipset than 2013. Within 2012, there could be 2 to 3 different TV models, and then within 2013, and guess what? 2014 is coming along with another TV set, another TV chipset, another. So it's actually a little. You should see our QA room, and it's not like mobile phones. So our QA room has like these huge TVs. Where we keep on having to get a bigger office just to get the TVs in our QA lab. So it makes for a little bit of a difficult situation. Nevertheless, we do believe that with the right price process in place, it's actually, first of all, it's a much simpler developing effort than we had in the past, and you can make it work. You can make it work. There are similarities between, let's say, HTML5 on Toshiba and HTML5 on Samsung and HTML5 on LG, et cetera. So there are parallels there, and if you are smart and you have the right processes, and you can actually make it work. So we think that's good. No, it's actually great. All right, there we go. So a little bit more on game development. So we believe that HTML5 is great for game development. We are fully behind it. We've been developing games in HTML5 for almost a year now. And one of the things that's good is that Canvas is a great way to draw things on the screen. So anyone who's using HTML5 and knows that Canvas tag is wonderful, so that's good. Okay, so what's the bad there is that on many TVs, HTML5 is too slow for Canvas to be used at all. So, so you have to be sort of pick and choose some of these TVs and manufacturers and years and where you can deploy, because it won't work everywhere. You have to, it's a give and take. If you want to just focus on games on manufacturers that support Canvas, you have this set, and if you don't, you have this set. So without Canvas, the range of games does become limited. However, as again, our experience is that most casual games, certainly on the smart TV space, are doable without Canvas. And so for the broad TV viewing demographic that we're seeing today on smart TV, people can play and enjoy games. And I'll show a couple of games, just screenshots of games that we've created. These are getting used and used very nicely. So we think that's good. No, that's all right. We got the first guy there. Good, thank you. Why smart TV? So this is the question that we get asked the most. We know that there are many choices out there for people to play games. It seems like every day there's another announcement. Amazon has their new game system. I'm sure we could all think of new ways to play games from iDevices across the board. So why games? And you know, it's bad. There is a lot of choice out there. So this is an easy answer for us, is because the TV is still the entertainment center of the home. And that's good. That's really, really good. Is that bottom line, when within someone's home, within their living room, they're making a big purchase and putting a nice, beautiful screen in their living room or their bedroom and other rooms and their kids' rooms, people are still using the TV as a viewing device. And that's really, really good for us. So what we're doing is we're trying to bring family-friendly games to this exciting frontier, and people are discovering and playing today. So we think that's good. No, that's great. All right. This is just an example of one of the portals that we have running today. Just for context, again, I'm guessing many people haven't seen these games today. But this is an actual portal. I think this is running on Philips, actually, so you could probably catch someone's home here in Amsterdam with a Philips TV. So if you have a 2013 Philips TV, you will see this. We have sort of a wheel kind of dynamic. So you could scroll around and play these games, and you can see the list of games there. What do they look like? You know, there are some standard simple games like solitaires. And again, this is full HD, so they actually look quite beautiful. We have a game like Galapagos. I don't know if you ever heard of Galapagos. It was an old, very popular casual downloadable game back in the early days. These games work very, very well, sort of traditional match 3 games. Moody's, which is our own IP, is kind of a Snood-style game. I use these games as examples of types of games you could create today with HTML5 almost universally on smart TV. So if these are games that work and can be deployed. You can't take everything. So if someone said, Jonathan, I have a great HTML5 game for you, which is a great RPG, and I don't know if I could feel good and say that we can deploy that. Maybe we'd have to look at it. But these types of games do work very well. We also are, as a company, we also license games, and we work with the World Poker Tour, so you can create a very nice World Poker Tour Texas Hold'em game. And actually, we'll be launching this next month. You guys will be the first to see. So what's something very interesting about the TV is, what if the TV becomes the table for games? It could be board games, certainly card games work very well, where you are holding your hand, you are holding your card hand on your iPhone, on your iPad, etc., and you are using that as your hand, and you're throwing the cards on the screen. So this technology exists today. We have it today. We'll be launching actually this in free box in France on the cable satellite side. Again, very, very shortly. And certainly will come to HTML5 as well. So you can imagine the scenario is why buy board game X, Y, or Z? Why do I need a Monopoly board? I can play Monopoly on my phone and use it in Spin and see as a family experience using the TV as the board. So we think this is very exciting and something that we can and will be doing very shortly. Okay, a couple more slides and we'll open it up to questions, but discovery. A lot of things I've also heard today is that discovery is getting harder and harder on the mobile side, as we know. It's also getting harder in the early days of smart TV. So some TV manufacturers today already have thousands of apps. That's bad. Discovery is very difficult, bad. And publishing is actually very, very difficult as well. It's a bit of a headache, is bad as well. So publishing today, if I have one game and I want it on Samsung, Panasonic, LG, Vizio, et cetera, it's not so easy. We actually have a team dedicated just to launching those games across multiple platforms. Also bad. So in order to succeed, and this is probably to be the same thing in any of these spaces, mobile, et cetera, placement is critical, marketing is critical, and you need the proper sort of facilities for QA and smooth development processes in place in order for you to monetize your game properly, because you don't want it to go just one place. The space is too small today to say, oh, I'm just launching on TV manufacturer X. It's not going to work. You need to have as broad as distribution as possible. And as we've been making these games over the past year, we've also, on the other side, been cutting deals with all the TV manufacturers. So hopefully we're well positioned to take a game and launch it across multiple platforms. So our recommendation is partner with a company who has proper relationships in QA environments. You know, no one, certainly no indie developer is going to have 8 TVs in their living room. Maybe they will, I don't know. But they're probably not going to have 8 TVs in the living room where we can help support. We have labs in Kiev and Tel Aviv and Toronto to help facilitate development around the world. So again, there may be others to partner with, but certainly we feel we're one of the early players in this space, and if those who have HTML5 games, we can help bring them to market. So we think that's good. No, it's actually great. So how does the story end? I know you guys were, so this is Flappy Bird. No. That's the, I'll stop. How many Flappy Bird jokes have there been today? A lot? None? Am I the first one? No, all right. Okay, so what's going on here? The little boy, remember, he was dropped with the hippopotamuses in the water. And so the stork flew, the little boy crossed the dark, windy sky, flap, flap. The little boy thought he would never see his parents again, sob. Oh, that's bad. Sounds bad, huh? Nope, it's good. Because the stork knew where it was going, it took the boy back to the zoo and dropped into his parents' arms, plop. His mother and father were so happy to see him, they gave him a big hug and a big kiss, smack. Oh, that's good. No, that's... All right, the little boy gets more excitement than me. It's all right. So let's wrap this up. We do think it's great. Development, every year chipsets and TVs are getting more powerful, more standard compliant, and less memory constrained. All 2014 sets that are coming out today are actually markedly better than the 2013 sets that are out there today, and certainly better than the 2012 sets. Distribution, the numbers are huge. The numbers are really, 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 really huge. So close to 2 billion by 2016. Again, you have to take a percentage of that as connected, but we saw those numbers are rising. So you can't take that as a pure number, but even with the connected rate, it's over 1 billion homes. And smart TVs are not going away. It's not, like, oh, I'm not buying a TV anymore. I'm just watching TV on my iPad. Anyone knows in the TV industry, there is obviously some friction there, but half of those likely to engage in cord cutting, so getting rid of their cable or satellite operator, are going to replace their cable or satellite TV service with what? A connected TV. Boom, we're right in the home. And those that are doing that, they are the ones who are connected. They're really connected, right? Because they have to be connected to get their TV content. So that bodes well for what we're doing. And as we mentioned before, it's a good story in revenue. It's, again, projected to be a $14 billion business just in the US. So, oh, that's good. Come on, give it to me, guys. No, that's... All right, there we go. So thank you. Happy to answer any questions that you have in this nascent space.
I had a question in relation to input and controllers. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you found a challenge? I mean, have manufacturers kind of got some sort of standardization going on there? Because I could imagine for different games, that's really something that defines how good the game is.
Right. Oh, I could have used that. That would have been a good slide. No, good question. So there is no standardization. If you've seen a Samsung TV remote versus a Philips TV remote, I mean, they're all different, and some are very different, actually. Samsung's is quite different than others. So the baseline that we develop for is up, down, left, right, select. So that's what we develop for. However, you can use your iDevice as an input. So you can do, let's say, a hidden object game fairly easily on the TV. You could even do a hidden object game, by the way, with up, down, left, right. You just create a cursor on the screen and move around. Maybe it's not as fun as using a mouse, but actually could be done quite nicely. We have done it with Dream Day Wedding, if you guys are familiar with that IP, and it works. So there is no standardability. That's bad, but no, it's good because you can really work around it, and it shouldn't be a barrier. It shouldn't be a barrier today. All right. Any other questions?
What are your thoughts on how the hardware is going to progress in terms of processing capability and canvas performance over time?
So it's already getting better. We are very bullish that the TV manufacturers have to do that, right? Chipsets are getting cheaper, and the TVs are getting more powerful. That's good. No, it's actually great. It really is, because we are seeing the TVs getting more powerful, which just means that we can make greater games. Again, today we're focused on casual. In HTML5, you can actually run native games on these TVs. You know, I've seen Spider-Man running on LG. There's a number of games out there today that are actually quite powerful, but again, that's when you're doing that today, you're developing specifically for the TV device itself. You can't really develop natively across multiple platforms effectively at all. So we opted not to take that route. We opted to take the route of, let's try to create something once and have it work on as many platforms as possible. So that's the route we're going, and it's probably the route that we recommend, but things are getting stronger.
Hi. How about Adobe Air? Because it's pretty much what you're talking about. So you can deploy everywhere, build once, and it's native apps.
Right, I missed the beginning part of your question.
The Adobe Air.
Yeah. Right.
Have you tried that, or what the thoughts are?
Right, so Adobe Air is definitely an option, but it doesn't, we found it doesn't port as easily today as HTML5. That's just the bottom line. I'm sorry?
Samsung don't support Adobe Air anymore.
No.
Yeah, but they've just announced it like a month ago, 2 months ago. They've dropped all support for Air, unfortunately.
Mm.
Hi. I think that people are still doing mostly the same in interactive TV. People from TV tends to repeat what worked on the traditional TV. Other side, we have the gaming community trying to give the game to TV. I would like to listen you a little about how these two models can bring life to new experiences, new kind of contents. Mm-hmm. I think the interactivity in TV is still barely used.
Right.
I don't know. I would like to.
It's a great
listen.
point, and probably. Look, if you just take a casual game and you put it up on TV, great, and we think there's a business there. Maybe you take it to the next level, and now we say the Texas Hold'em example we're doing with the World Poker Tour. Maybe that's the next level, right, where you're using your TV as a board. Now, what about the next level of you have a TV show, and there are some examples of this today, but you can begin to do this today with ACR, where you're listening to the TV show, and based upon what they're saying, you can bring up you can bring up a game while you're playing with the television. You can bring up a sports game while you're watching a sporting event. And we think there is a lot of sort of watch and play type of experiences. We do think that's probably next generation, that could be next year. But we certainly think that's where a lot of the creativity will be going, is how do you take traditional TV content, merge that with gaming, and create seamless sort of one-screen activities. And that's sort of also been sort of a waving flag of smart TV interactive experiences is, great, I can do it with my iPhone and iPad, but I could also do it on one screen, one big, beautiful, awesome screen in my living room with my whole family around having a great time. And we think that's smart TV today. Great. If anyone has any other questions, you can come visit me afterwards. And I appreciate you guys coming today. Thank you so much.